wasn't much racism in it. Like, it was like, but at the time, though, it's so funny. It's hard for racism to be when there's only one black guy. A lot of times, it'll be like just me, man. I'll be looking around like, there'll be like a Mexican dude or a Latino dude somehow. Mexican, El Salvadorian, something. And you'd be looking at him and he'd be looking at you and you'd be like, yeah, we're the only ones, man. Shit, that's crazy.
At that time, there weren't a bunch of Asians and stuff.
Now
it's heavily.
Yes, well, I remember, and Davis at that point, it was just a lot of, like, really, not a lot of people were, it wasn't diverse. It was like pretty much a lot of white kids, suburban white kids, or sort of poor white kids, and then, like, I saw myself there, and a couple other, like, Latino kids, and then that was it, Come to find out later, I just found out in this documentary, which, if you guys have time, I'll show it to you guys. Mm-hmm. It's called The Blackboard. I found out that I'm like the first black street professional, right? Which, because there's Steadham Vert and all this stuff like that, and I never knew that. But what I realized is Davis was the transition to street.
Okay.
And I didn't understand.
It was during that time.
Yes, it was, and it was happening under your feet. Like, right. Remember I said we're going to Chuck's house. Mm-hmm. We're always going out to Woodland. We're getting the rides. We're going out there constantly. I remember Tim and Cody wanting to go because, the kids, they want to jump in but they're kind of grommets, gotta ask your parents. So then they would kind of not be able to go. So then they would still want to skate, have that stoke. So then they could skate that parking lot. Then you'd come back, they'd drop you off, and there'd be those kids, and next thing you know, you wind up skating with them. And it was like, I remember so many nights skating with those kids at that parking lot. And I remember this is something that was really tripping to me, that at that time, a lot of people were doing that. Like, sitting in a parking lot, just skating with them to the lights that are there. Ain't nothing special.
And that's a different time, too, that the wheels were so much heavier.
Oh, my God, yes.
I remember seeing, like, some of the contests back then. You hear, like, the clunk, the heaviness of the wheels coming down. The boards were huge.
If the board hit you, it would hurt you so much sometimes. Like, it could end your day. Like, a board, like, you're trying to kickflip, and it's like the board is so heavy, it hits you in the shins, and you just sit down. And just sit there for a second, just rub your shins and just be like, making sure that, wow, it didn't break the skin, or wow, it broke the skin, so now I'm hurt. You know what I mean? Like, I spent so much, but Davis was, like I said, so like we'd go skate tranny, but then we'd be trying those street tricks, and then it was like, from Davis is when I heard about skate camp. That's when I got asked to go teach the first skate camp.
Where was, in Davis or what was it?
Visalia skate camp.
Okay.
But it was in Reedley. And they hadn't really figured out that it was 105 degrees in the Central Valley. And so we get out there, and me and Jim Thiebaud, Don Fisher, and Karen Zapata started building ramps. Most of us, I built a couple vert ramps, but like none of them had, like Fish maybe. So we had to build ramps, build street courses. It was all in Reedley, but the kids couldn't come and skate. Kids came, it was like 105. Just couldn't skate till the afternoon or in the morning.
Sure.
It was so hot. It was just bad. It's like my friend Bobby, who he was ahead of his game. Bobby G had the first one. He was one of the first pros to have his own company, but then the board broke. But he still had his first company. He's still that first guy. Then he had skate camps, and his skate camp idea, I think to this day, still stands the test of time. Skate camp, Bobby G. Bobby Goodsby was his name. He was like, I graduated high school from him, and he had this entrepreneurial spirit, like, I'm gonna make boards and stuff. And I remember looking at him like, you're crazy, man. Nobody makes boards. At the time, you're a kid, you're like, nobody does that stuff. And then he did it.
Who sponsored you board-wise after?
God, I got stories. I got stories. This is great. Okay, so I go to Santa Barbara, and I get in trouble when people say that I stole from the whatever recording studio. I go down to Santa Barbara. At that time, I was on Steadham Designs. Steve Steadhams was flowing me boards. He had seen me skate sometimes. And
was he a big inspiration to you?
Well, at that time, anybody black doing it was pretty much like, oh my God, you're doing it? Holy shit. I remember like showing my parents, hey, there's another black person. Oh my God. Okay, so, but like funnily, like really like writing for him, kind of all of a sudden, hate to say it, realizations start to come in when you're a different person when you write for somebody. I'm sure all my old writers probably were hell of excited, and then they wrote for me and were like, this dude, what the what did we get ourselves into? And that was kind of how with me with Steadham. I went down to that contest so I went down to that contest, and I get there. All my friends are there. It's like super cool to just kind of be in Santa Barbara, Isla Vista. And who shows up but Jesse Martinez and Nadas Capas. And they are doing tricks that none of us in the world of skateboarding have seen. And it's
what year?
This is 1984, 85.
Okay.
And so we're like, I'm, kind of down there feeling good about myself, and like in the quarterfinals of the contest, I pull out the guys. Hey, why don't you 5 guys come and lay out and I'll ollie you? That's all I had. So they came out and did it, and I ollied them. And going into the finals in that contest, they were like the finals. They were 5th place, 4th place, 3rd place Jesse Martinez, 2nd place Nadas Capas, 1st place Ron Allen.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm in 1st place going into the finals of this, like kind of a local contest, but here are these guys from Santa Monica who would come down. I had come all the way down from Davis down. So it was, even though it was a local thing, here I was first going into the finals. And Jesse Martinez looked at me and he goes, dude, you're going down, bro. You're going down. We're pulling out the stuff on you. And I'm like, I'm clueless to what that means. At first I'm like, are they gonna kill me?
So they didn't like you winning.
Like, I'm like, is this like...
You're a new guy and you won.
Like,
so,
I hadn't won yet. I'm going into the finals. So the finals have to go. And so in the finals, I'm like, well, I only 5 people. Let me break out 6 people. Well, next time you decide to just lay 6 people down. 5 people down was pretty much all I could do.
Oh, boy.
And the 6th person was my friend Henry.
And he was probably like,
I think Brandon went, Henry went 6th and my friend Brandon went 5th, because there was actually a photo somewhere where Brandon's looking and I'm not making it. And like, I push, and ollie, and next thing you know, I'm flying past the 4th guy, and I'm like, well, I'm coming up way short. And I came up short, right on his midsection. And bailed, and that's when Nadas, first Jesse did the whole thing where he put his hand on the ground and he rode up the wall with his
yeah.
No one had ever seen that before.
Oh, really?
Spun the board on his hand.
Oh, right.
Did like an invert and then came to the ground. Everyone was like, okay, what was that? Like, what was that? Okay, and Nadas was like, oh, and ran, held his board and jumped onto the wall with his board and then wall rode in.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, holy, what was that? Like, what was that? Like, and he did it so easy that I swear after that day, every wall in that city was fucked. Because kids would saw it and were like, oh my God, I gotta try it.
I remember that period,
and their board hit the ground, wow. And it was like, Nadas probably did more for people having to buy new boards. Because the wall ride would just kill boards.
Sure.
But you just had to do it once you saw it. It just looked so cool and like...
I remember that period we were just running on the wall, just to get a feeling of, hey, how could we just run at the wall? There was a picture of Nadas, I think. He was running on the wall over like 2 people in a chair.
Yes.
We were like, we gotta try that, just to get that feeling. And then we'll just ride on the wall.
And that contest, they seriously came out. So that was like it. Going in semifinals, I was in 1st, and literally went from 1st to 3rd. And they, like Jesse and Nadas, from doing those tricks, were pretty amazing. And I remember, but that was for me. Getting 3rd place was still pretty cool. Like, I remember sitting, and I went to the phone with my friend, Brandon Chapman, who was like, we were always together, and he goes, dude, you should go to the phone and call Stedham, and let him know how good you did, like, you kind of made an impact this contest. And I'm like, dude. So I go to the phone, Stedham, oh my God, I got first going into the finals, give him the whole, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, cool, quit your, just sell all the stuff you won, and then that'll get you a bus pass home. I'm like, huh? And he goes, well, yeah, you gotta get back to Davis, right? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, so yeah, you're probably gonna get a bus, get a Greyhound back. And I said, yeah. So if you sell your Airwalk bag that you won with your 2 pairs of Airwalks and your T-shirts and stuff, you probably have enough money to get a bus ticket back to.
Right.
And I was like, okay, like kind of sad,
right.
God, like. So I remember hung up the phone and I stood back on the phone like, wow, I did so well, but I feel like I lost. And Everett Rosecrans was 2 phones down at the phone bank, and he says, what do you mean? You skated great today. What are you talking about? And I'm all, I gotta sell
Airwalk bag.
I gotta sell my winnings just so I can get home. And he goes, what are you talking about? And I said, oh, I gotta sell what I won for third place so I can get home. And he went, oh, dude, you skated great. Who's your sponsor? And I said, Steve Stedham. And he's like, call him back and quit, and just you'll ride for Vision. And I was like, huh?
Oh,
he
wow.
goes, call him back right now, and tell him it was nice riding for him, and quit. And I was like, look, I remember picking up the phone, forgot the number.
Right.
Then go, hey Steve, thank you very much. I appreciate everything you did for me, and I'm gonna be moving on. And he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay. And I'm on the phone, and he's like, get in the van. Go down to Vision. I got a box. I got flown back. It was insane.
Oh my gosh.
It was insane. And I remember being like, you're gonna fly me back? And he goes, yeah, you'll fly in the Sacramento Airport. And I was like, oh, like, and I remember being like, this is so cool. And like,
was that Brad Dorfman?
and Brad Dorfman was the owner, and Everett was like the team manager.
I see. Okay.
So he was Vision, and I was riding, like I was with Kelly, Rosecrans, Mark Gonzalez, Jinx, Marty Jimenez was on that. I used to ride Jinx boards all the time. So I was just like, this is the greatest. Like, I can't believe this. Like, so I literally went from sell your stuff to like get back to Davis to being flown back to Sacramento,
right,
and taking like some sort of limo back to Davis, like, yeah, man. That was funny to me. That was so funny. Like that's my like the Davis. And that kind of was the beginning. And I remember there was a time when I knew it was like I gotta leave Davis. It was like almost like the writing was on the wall.
When did you leave Davis?
Like, okay, so 86, about the end of 86, get a call from Mike Chernaski. Hey, I'm doing the skate camp. And I'm like, skate camp, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, got this thing in Reedley. I'm working with Bob Goodsby. We got this party, kind of popping. And I'm like, oh, and he goes, yeah, we'll pay you guys some money. And then so we go up there, and actually it was Bob who kind of talked to us, but he said Mike was going to be there, and that kind of gave us a little more stoke because Mike's a little bit more organized. Bob was kind of a little bit more like kind of bullshit, but Mike being there and Bob being real was like, oh, this is going to be cool. Then we get there, and Mike actually showed up kind of as like his friend, and was like, what do you got going here? And then asked us like, what are you guys doing? And I go, we wake up in the morning, we wake the kids up, we get them food, we take them here, we do this with them, then we take them there, and we do this with them, and the guy's like, Mike's like, you do all that? And we're like, yeah. And he goes, how much do you get paid? And we're like, oh, we do this for free, dude. We just got free room and board. And he's like, what? What? I remember having the meeting with him, and he's just like, so you decided that you like skateboarding so much that you would just come up and for free room and board, you just do this. And he goes, did you guys know what you're getting yourself into? And we're like, no. And he's like, you guys seem a little bummed. I remember Jim Thibault and I were like, first of all, getting up early in the morning, waking somebody up, hitting pots and pans was not my forte, but I did. Going to bed, telling people to go to bed, and confiscating their weed and their beer, not my forte, but I did it.
That's what you did.
And it just sucked. It was like everything about our job was that we had to be cool, then we had to be not cool. Then I remember these kids, they learned some steez where they called at McDonald's and they ordered a bunch of food and the McDonald's would make it and they'd throw it away. Then they'd go over and they would jump in the garbage can, steal the food, and they would come back to the camp and they would sell it. So I catch their little racket going on, and I'm like, well, so you're faced with a choice. You catch a racket going on, do you stop it, or do you buy in and go, hey, they got McDonald's? Oh my God, you're just so corrupt. You're so corrupt. But that was like, when I went to camp, after making money at camp, I went to New York to do some commercial and came back from New York and kind of moved into, I think I came back from New York and moved in with like someone in San Diego, so it kind of was down there more. But yeah, I moved up to Davis to kind of stay at Jeff Clint's house, kind of like.
Jeff Clint.
Yeah, okay. Jeff Clint was it was.
Sounds familiar. I should know that name. Who was
the owner of Deluxe, the owned Real,
okay,
artist, skater on 8th Street back in the day. Just kind of like jack of all trades, kind of like good artist, skater, really funny though, like, and always. Like that, where it's like, hey Jeff, what are you doing? Oh, I drew this. He drew the girl crying, why can't my guy skateboard and all that. It's always like, and he graduated UC Davis.
Did you do the art for your boards?